Hi everybody, welcome to the Knitting Turnpike. Welcome to the Knitting Turnpike. My name is Gina Pike. I'm so happy that you're here today. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about what are you knitting or crocheting? What are you crocheting? What I like to call WAYK. This is update number 30. For these videos, if you are new here, I like to share what I'm currently working on. I usually have some people in our family here that have sent me pictures of things that they're working on that are allowing me to share pictures and their projects with you here. And then in turn, I like to ask you guys what you're working on right now. And I would like for you to put a comment down in the comments below so that everybody can read what you're working on and connect with you, and we can, share our projects with each other here. I hope you're all doing well. It's October. I can't believe it. I can't believe this year's flown by. This is going to be a little bit of a longer update. So why don't you go ahead and just grab yourself some coffee or some tea or water, whatever you like to drink, and let's just sit down for a little while and talk about all of this stuff. I have some really cool things to tell you about today. The first thing I want to update you guys on is a couple of days ago I shared with you my first project for Knitober. This is called the Lilith Shawl, and this is a mystery knit along being put on by Boo Knits. That's Bev Johnson. And every year around this time, around Halloween, she has a mystery knit along. And this year it's a top down crescent lace shawl with beads. And in the first video, clue 1, I showed you the beads and the yarn that I'm using. I'm using a dye for yarn in it's called Bloody Pumpkin. So it's very fall, rust colored with some blood spotches. And I'm also using a dark bead that goes really well with it. I'm going to show you clue 2 here in just a minute. I told you this moves at a very fast pace. So we're through with clue 2, and we're going to be getting clue 3 on the 8th. So we're moving right along on this. But I wanted to mention real quickly, in clue 1, I showed you guys how to knit all of the stitches involved in this shawl. And that way you could evaluate if this might be something you might want to knit. And you can also use them as a little tutorial as well. So go back and take a look at that if you're thinking about that or want to knit some sort of a lace shawl. Her patterns are so well written. She puts the text and the chart. Everything is explained to the nth degree. And even when you have to change your knitting needles, there's like a little symbol to remind you to change your knitting needles to a larger size or a smaller size, whatever that might be. But she is really good about putting all the little details in there. So without further ado, you guys saw where my clue 1 is. Now I put a marker. I put this marker right here. That's where my clue 1 ended. I'm going to also pin this out because it is curly because it's a lot of stockinette. But as you can see, from this marker to the end, that's where clue 2 is. And you can see there's we brought in more lace and more a bigger type of a lace motif. We had these lace motifs starting out kind of small, and it's getting bigger and more beads. And I tell you what, let me pin this out and I'll change the view and we'll take a look at it a little bit closer up and a little bit pinned out. All right, here we go. This is it pinned out. Again, as you can see, this is where we were to clue 1. This is where we are to clue 2. We've added a little bit more lace. I will go pull back so you can see it is getting actually really big. That's the size of it right now. It's almost taken up my whole couch cushion, and I had to remove, no, I didn't remove the back pillow, but I probably should have because it's right there blocking some of the view. But here we go. I'll get up closer so you can see some of the lace motifs. You can see my yarn's a little stripy. And there's some of the lace with the beads. It started up here, garter stitch tab, cast on. And then it went into this kind of a lace. And then this is getting a little bit bigger. getting a little bit bigger, and now we're into this kind of lace motif. And just really, really beautiful. I'm enjoying it. As you can see, she's starting to add more beads here at the end. So I'm excited about that and what that's going to start doing for it. I will put another marker to mark this into this clue 2. Clue 3 will come out on the 8th. And that again is Lilith, Mystery Shawl Knit Along, Clue 2. All right, the next thing I want to talk to you about is a project I'm so excited to talk to you guys about. I believe this video is going to be posting on August the 7th, or August, what am I saying? October the 7th or October the 8th. If this is October the 8th, this Mystery Shawl Knit Along is starting today. And yes, I am talking about Mr. Stephen West's and his annual Mystery Knit Along. Now, last year was the first time I was able to knit one of his shawls, and that was the Mystery Knit Along, and that was Slipstravaganza. I'll put a link to that video if you want to see that finished shawl up above. I gave that to a friend of mine. That was a massive shawl, almost like a shanklet, which is a shawl and a blanket in one. That was such a wonderful, wonderful shawl to make. I learned so much, so different types of construction, a lot about slip stitch color work. It was a lot of fun. And from that shawl, he created 2 other patterns that I went on to knit in Hyber Knit Along. I believe that was in December and January of this year. I knitted the Winter Lights shawl in shades of pink, which is this one here. I still have these. This is Winter Lights shawl. It has the beautiful honeycombs that he used also in the Slipstravaganza. You can see that. Love that shawl. And then he also created woven chevrons, which is that beautiful chevron border from Slipstravaganza. And I knitted that one too. I kind of made this one just a hair smaller than the pattern calls for, but still, it was a lot of intricate knitting, a lot of slip stitching, really beautiful design. You can see the different shape that it was. Very, very cool triangular shaped shawl. So from that one pattern came those 2, which I knitted. Now, here we go. We are to the annual 2021 Mystery Knit Along, Stephen West, and he's calling it Shawlography. I will try to link some of his videos doing the introduction down below. Now, this year, this shawl, we don't know anything about it except that he's requiring 5 colors. Last year was 4. This year we have 5. Now, I want to talk a little bit about my color selection, and then I'm going to be showing clue updates here on my channel as part of Knitober. But this year I was like, I'm going to pick something for my stash. I actually did pick something for my stash last year too, but I'm like, I'm going to pick something for my stash, although there are so many beautiful kits out there being sold right now. So it was hard to not buy anything. And I kept trying to put together colors. I started out with grays and blue greens, and I didn't really like it. I was looking at my color wheel. I was trying to figure out what colors should I use, what colors would go well together out of my stash. And finally, I found this one kit from Amanda Hope Yarn. I'll put a link to her website down below. I'm going to put a still picture of the yarn that I bought. Gorgeous teals and blues, and it has this special chartreuse green pop of color. He says that he wants us to have some sort of pop of color to use for this project. And I've wound all my yarns, as you can see. Let's see if I can hold them here in the color. Uh-oh, I got it hung a little bit. Let's just let me stick it real back there. All right, so I have this and this and this and this You see all the shades, and he recommends you have some lighter shades and some darker shades for some contrast. And then here's my, oops, I'm running out of hand, pop of color, my green. Look at these colors. Aren't they amazing? I wish I could hold it up closer to the thing for you guys to see. There you go. Now, when I bought this kit, this color I wasn't sure about. You guys know I'm not such a green. I like blue greens. The green, I'm like, looks a little bit like pea soup. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not with these colors. I can't hold all these. But so I was sitting here looking at it, looking at my color wheel, and I want to hold up my color wheel for a second. On my color wheel, you know, when you look at the color wheel, you have blue and blue greens, and I thought, well, what would be something that would go across from this? And it looks like, sorry for the glare from my, like red orange is across from the blue green. So I was like, okay, what do I have in my stash that's kind of red orange? Maybe I can replace this with a red orange skein. And I had this gorgeous skein. Look at this skein of yarn. This is from Madeline Tosh. It's a Merino Light. This is her Carolina Reaper. And I thought maybe I could use this with the blue greens and just see how it looks with all of the blue greens. And I do think, honestly, I think it looks really, really good as well. Get that green. I got them all tangled over here now. All right, I thought that looks really, really good too. And I couldn't decide. And for a while, I had these posted on my Ravelry page, trying to figure out what color should I use. I even asked the people in the Stephen West group, and most of the people actually picked the bright green. What we thought was interesting is my husband liked this, and then my friend, her husband, liked this. But all the women and children kind of like this color. So I was like, I guess I'm going to go with this color. And the more I've looked at it, the more I kind of like it. I still do like this color, but I think with these greens, I think this is a really nice color. And I think when you're thinking about if you're going to knit this along with me, you should really think about the color wheel and how colors go together. So say we got all these blue greens right in here, and I'm basically just staying, instead of going across, which I was like, I got to go across for it to pop and to show up. I got to go across, but not necessarily. I kind of learned something from this. I have the blue greens and the blues. I'm staying on this side with the yellow green. If you want to pick some nice colors from your stash, say you have more blue, violet, violets, you could do the purples with the blues, or maybe even a violet like that shades. That would be really beautiful. Or you could even do something like this. You could do red orange, red and red violet. Those would be beautiful together. And even this, yellow, orange, red orange, those would be good nice together. Maybe even a pop of green. You could look at it that way. That was something I was not thinking about, because I just was like, it's got to be opposite on the color wheel. But it is something to think about. And I just wanted to mention that if you guys are going to be knitting this and looking at your stash, think about what colors would be beside it. And maybe be a nice pop of color that you might have that you could put with this. But I would love to have you knit this along with me. The first clue, like I said, is coming out on the 8th. There will be a clue every week. So it'll be the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th. 4 clues for this mystery knit along. Not sure where he's going to take us. Nothing more than just, we got to pick some colors, 5 colors, and we got to be ready to get started on the 8th. So I'm excited about that. I am doing 2 shawls at the same time, 2 mystery knit-alongs, Lilith, and this one. And the other thing I've been working on, well, there's 2 other things, but the other thing I have been working on is the Simpson Turnpike Cal with Miss Linda Simpson of Linda Simpson's Crochet Nook. And we're working on the Ashton Shawlette. The pattern is by Dee O'Keefe. We just did our Chart 2A question and answer period on Linda's channel on Monday, the 4th, and on the 12th of October on my channel, the tutorial for Chart 3 is going to come out. And I'm just going to give you guys a heads up. It's a long tutorial. So I would advise maybe watching each little section before you knit. You don't have to watch the whole thing before you knit. Just watch each little section. Go do it as you go along. Pace yourself. We got plenty of time. You got a couple of weeks to knit chart 3 before we go to the next one. So take your time, but that will be coming out next week on the 12th. And then 4 days later on the 16th, Linda and I will have a Q&A, a live Q&A question period on the Knitting Turnpike here on my channel to answer any questions you guys might be having. Or you're always welcome. We have a group in Linda's Facebook group for this SIMPSONTURNPIKEKAL. You can go join her Facebook group. I'll put a link down below and post questions and pictures or videos there of anything you might be encountering. If you don't want to wait for the Q&A, you know, you might want to go ahead and just keep moving on it. Or you can also email us at any time as well for any questions you might have, and we'll be glad to answer. But this is my shawl. I have finished. The only thing I've got left to do is do blocking, and I'm going to be teaching the blocking tutorial, so I haven't done that yet, so it is kind of looking small and not quite as open, but this is my shawl right now. As you can see, I added extra repeats to chart 3, which are these lacy pieces right in here, I did 2 extra repeats of that. So just wanted to briefly show you that. We'll show that more on the thing, but I wanted to mention that is something I have been working on and trying to finish up before these mystery knit alongs started. I wanted to, also knew I would be busy this October with those kinds of things. There's one more thing I want to mention. I haven't really done that much on it, but I still am working on Waltz of the Dragonflies, pattern by Alla Borisova, and I'm in chart 3. And it's starting to do a lot more wrap stitches, and this is really cool. I think I'll talk about this a little bit more another time as I get a little bit more done on it. Last time I showed you I was in chart 2. I'm in chart 3, so it's going a little bit slower, but I am still working on it and have it set over here to pick up when I get a moment in between these other projects. So now we are to the point where we're going to talk about what you guys are currently knitting or crocheting. WAYK-30. And today I have 4 people who have shared their projects here with us, and I'm going to share them with you. And then after this video is over, we would like for you guys to share with us down in the comments below what you're currently working on. All right, so the first person I have to share here with us is Angela Dew. She is Angelic Pearl on Ravelry. She's an avid knitter. The first project she has to share with us here is the Transition Zone cardigan. She's been showing this as it's been in progress, but this is finished. She made this cardigan. It's a knit cardigan. She used US 4 and she seamed it together with a mattress stitch. She made a size 3X, and she used Barocco Homestead tweed yarn in burgundy. And it is beautiful. It looks lovely on you. It's a beautiful fit. Very glad that you shared this with us. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you let us see the finished project too. It's really nice. I love the texture of it. It's just gorgeous. The next project that she has to share, she has another sweater that she finished. This one is a raglan, top-down raglan pattern top, cotton top. She used Lime Brand cotton yarn, and she made a size 2X. She used 2 skeins of yarn, and she used US 7 needles, and this looks really good on you too. You're very good at making wearables, and I'm a little bit envious, but I think it's really good, and thank you for sharing these with us. It looks really nice on you. The next person we have to share with us here is Verna Bradshaw, and Verna is sharing with us today a C2C crocheted blanket. This is so cute, this little panda design. This is a 40-inch by 35-inch blanket. It's made using acrylic yarns in worsted weight 4, and the pattern is by Angela, who is the Crazy Poppy Lady here on YouTube, and then the border is by Ariana of Crafting Happiness, and I think it looks so cute. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Verna. It's really lovely. And the C2C is actually a stitch I've always wanted to learn. I haven't had a chance to learn it yet, but I think it's a really beautiful stitch. The next person to share with us is Dorit Pinto. Dorit's out of Israel. Dorit has, here's some items she has made for her grandkids. She has a headband and a matching purse for a 10-year-old. And then she started an Almani puzzle ball by Deidre Eustace. I think that's her name, and really, really pretty. Those are really, really interesting too. I don't know how hard they would be to make, but she's doing that. And then she also has a dinosaur here showing us the front and back, and most of her patterns are her own. Now I know the one pattern, the Amani puzzle ball, is from the pattern book from Annie's Crafts, but the rest are her own patterns, and she's very talented knitter and crocheter, and she shared here before with us. So thank you for sharing that with us, Dorit. We really appreciate it. These are beautiful, beautiful projects, and I know your grandkids really love getting those from you. The last person to share today is Lisa Mahin. Lisa's from DragonB Crochet. Today she's sharing with us a couple of projects. She's sharing us a matching shawl and a hat. And then the next one she has is a matching hat and a scarf. And Lisa said that she's been knitting or crocheting like crazy in preparation for a fall craft fair that's going to run from October the 16th to December the 18th. And she's going to be selling all of her items there, and we wish her the best of luck with that, and we're excited to learn how it all goes for you, but we're thinking all the best things for you as you prepare for that, and I hope you have a lot of fun. So thank you for sharing that with us today, and letting us see all the hard work you've been putting in. It's beautiful. So now we're to the point. It's time for you guys to share with us. Thank you for letting me share all these projects with you, for letting me combine Lilith and a little bit of an introduction for Shawlography, along with What Are You Knitting? And I just appreciate all of you for watching this. I hope you're all doing well. If you are new, you haven't figured out, we like to talk about knitting and crochet and yarn. We would love to have you join us. For those of you who watch all the time, thank you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate you guys taking the time to be here and to share your projects with us. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care. We will see you all very, very soon. All right, bye-bye.